What's up, friends? Welcome back to Mobility Wednesday. Today I'm going to start out with a foam roller. So go ahead and pop down on your foam roller. We're going to do a little bit of quad smashing. Usually our quads are nice and sore after Monday's leg day, but you can do this anytime. I like to smash about a minute to 2 minutes per section, kind of depending on how sore you really are. Make sure that you are breathing through this, relaxing onto that foam roller, and then also kind of shifting positions. So as you'll see, I'm kind of working the side of my quad as well as the center, and then kind of like that inner groin area here as I switch my hip position. I'm going to work that kind of on the inside groin area. So we all kind of feel leg soreness in different areas. So just kind of move it around. If it is tender and kind of makes you want to hold your breath, you're probably in a good spot. Unfortunately, the more uncomfortable it is, the better you're doing it. So go ahead and switch sides after a minute or two. You can always pause the video if you need more time. Don't feel like you need to go at the same pace. I don't want to bore you and just roll for 5 minutes per leg. Okay, so now we're actually going to switch the foam roller to our back, and we're going to work through that thoracic spine. So for this one, I like to start kind of at the base of my rib cage, and I'm going to set my shoulders back, lightly touch the tips of my ears, and I'm going to do 5 reps. If you've watched my thoracic mobility video, this will be a refresher. So I like to do 5 reps, kind of trying to reach my shoulders and torso back over the foam roller. And then I'm going to roll that foam roller up, kind of a couple vertebrae, and I'm going to repeat. You might feel or hear some back popping here, but make sure you're really inhale, exhale as you stretch, excuse me, those elbows back. And you're going to do 5 reps. And then you're going to kind of scooch down a bit further and then go through it again for another 5 reps, spreading and reaching those elbows back. You should feel a stretch through your armpits, your back, your neck. It should feel pretty dang good. And then I'm just kind of arching and reaching over that foam roller, trying to get my fingertips to the floor. And then give yourself a nice hug and roll your back out. So this is great if you have some tender erectors. Those are the long muscles that are on either side of your spine. Maybe some tender lats. And that's all I'm going to do with the foam roller today. And then we're just going to flip over and stretch out in a nice child's pose. So with this stretch, remember, you're going to be reaching your hips and butt back towards your heels and kind of reach those fingertips, walk those fingertips out, and then nice, gentle exhale. From there, you're going to take one arm out and reach under. It's the thread the needle stretch. This is stretching kind of the top of my shoulder. And I'm sitting those hips back. And when you feel good, you can go ahead and switch sides, thread the needle, stretch over that shoulder and sit the hips back. Then we're going to come out of that slowly and right into some cat-cows and scap retractions. So starting with The scap retraction, I'm literally just retracting and then pushing through. So notice I'm not bending my arms. I'm just allowing myself to kind of sink down into my shoulder blade and my scapula and then pressing out of it. And then take it into your full spine, into a cat, cow. So cow is when the back is arched like so. And then inhale, fill that belly, cat back, exhale into your cow. You can kind of do some rocking here, whatever feels good. I think these are amazing. They always feel good on my back, especially my lower back. So really feel every individual vertebrae as you go through these and kind of rock back and forth. Then I'm gonna push back into a downward dog and pedal my feet. So I'm gonna do 10 pedals as I push into my shoulder blade. So I'm just kind of stretching out my feet and my calves as I do my downward dog. So I did 10 reps, but do whatever feels good. Then slide 1 foot forward into your runner's lunge. So this is my OG stretch. I love it. I do it every day. I like to do it with my back knee down so I can really sink my hips further into a stretch. And then I'm gonna do my my reach throughs, except I am keeping my elbow down for the first couple, and then I'm gonna extend it up to my hand. And I was just really feeling out where my flexibility was in each position, but do whatever you can in this position. Remember, everyone's mobility is gonna look a little different. From there, give yourself 5 hip circles. This one's a little bit funny at first, but just put your hand on your knee and swivel your hips. And then after your 5 hip circles, you're gonna do 5 hamstring stretches. So runner's lunge to hamstring, runner's lunge to hamstring for 5. And then I'm going to grab my back foot for a really deep hip flexor and quad stretch. This one probably isn't going to work for everyone. So if you cannot do this stretch, you can do your couch stretch off the wall. This is kind of like a wall-free couch stretch. It does require the flexibility to do so and also the balance. And little note, I'm not like on my kneecap. People always complain about their knee hurting. I'm like up on the squishy, like more of like my quad meat above my knee. So just a little note for that. Now I'm going to repeat this. So remember, runner's lunge, back knee down. I'm gonna do some reach throughs. Remember, on these reach throughs, you are not just reaching your arm. I want you to think about rotating your entire torso. So get your torso involved, down and open. Do 5 reps, elbow down or elbow up. Sorry, elbow down or extended up on your arm. Then you're gonna do your hip circles. I always think of SpongeBob, bring it around town. I don't know if anyone's gonna get that reference. And then 5 hamstring stretches. Runner's lunge to hamstring, runner's lunge to hamstring, back and forth. And then the wall-free couch stretch. Had to take a deep breath to get into that. I'm also thinking about my pelvic position. Make sure there's no pelvic tilt, really neutral here in my spine and pelvis. I almost have like a little forward lean to stay in that alignment. And then from there, fold over. I'm gonna walk my hands to one leg and then walk my hands to the other leg. Kind of doing a crossover, just making sure I'm taking my time. Going from one side to the other. You could also just grab your elbows and do like a gentle sway. And then go right into your dump trucks. Since you're already there, go ahead and give me 5 to 10 dump trucks. Hang out on the bottom if you need. Sway back and forth, the top or the bottom. Make this stretch yours. This is the biggest takeaway I want you guys to have with these mobility flows, is to, if something feels really good, sit with it for a bit. Okay, next up, grab your band or your PVC. We're just gonna do our pass-throughs. I've actually learned that not everyone does the around the world pass-throughs, so we're gonna do those in this video. So just starting out with 10 regular pass-throughs. And now the around the world. So one arm goes low, then that arm goes high. Low, high, low, high. And I like to do 5, and then I switch directions for 5 the other way. From there, some gentle neck stretching. So with the gentle neck stretching, you're just using the weight of your arm and slight pressure with your hand to stretch the neck. I go one side and then I do kind of chin to chest, folding over. And then I'll switch to the other side. No real time requirement here. Once again, just kind of going off of feel. Just try and relax your neck. Allow the weight of your hand to fold it over, and then take that right into some gentle neck rolls. I say gentle because I don't want you violently rolling your neck like you're at a Korn concert. Another reference you may or may not get. And then just a little gentle back bend into a fold over. Back bend, take it through, fold over, and slowly roll through that spine. This is just a traditional door jam stretch. I'm using my rig, but you could use a door jam. Notice I am kind of switching my hips away from the jam. So I'm really getting a big stretch through my armpit, my lat, my shoulder. Breathing. You can actually do both arms at one time if you're in an actual door jam. You put your hands up and then kind of walk through, or you can just take one at a time. Super easy stretch that can be done anywhere. All right, we're gonna shake it out, so to speak, with some arm swings. We're gonna do the Michael Phelps version, which is arms go wide, give yourself a hug, arms go wide, give yourself a hug. Then after we do 10 of these, we're going to go, I don't really have a name for this. It's kind of like a arm chop, alternating arm chops into a tricep stretch. So I like to kind of try and reach down my back in between my shoulder blades, walk those fingertips down, and I'm gonna go ahead and multitask and get a calf stretch in at the same time. You could even use like the wall or the rack if you lean forward to kind of stretch a bit further. Reaching those fingertips down. Notice my spine is staying very neutral in that. You want to make sure you're not flaring your rib cage open. And then finally finishing up with my all-time favorite stretch that you see in every video I do, the couch stretch. If you guys aren't doing this every single day, you should be. Especially if you sit throughout the day, sit at a desk, do a lot of driving, whatever the case may be. And then once again, multitasking because our wrists do not get enough love. I'm doing wrist circles, so interlace your fingers. Now I'm kind of stretching my wrists, folding them over, and then I'll switch and do it the other way. But once again, wrists and ankles are important to stretch as well. So as you'll see in the couch stretch, the top of my foot and ankle are getting a nice stretch. And then at the same time, I am mobilizing my wrists. So if you ever feel like wrist pain in your workouts, don't neglect them, stretch them, bend them, all very important things. So I hope you enjoyed today's mobility flow. It was a little bit of everything. As always, thank you for being here. Hope you're feeling a little bit more limber. Have a great day.